Alright, you guys, one of your worksheets has this graph on it. And remember, all we're doing is dealing with functions. And I have written f of x, a function of x, so an output when my input is x, and that's your input, right? In this case, we're going to say it's the y value. And y's are generally known as an output as well. So we're going to start off very simple here. We are going to ask a few questions. I'd like you to try it on your whiteboard, and then we'll show you the answer. So let's say I have a function of 2. Alright, and listen, let me just walk through this one. So a function of 2 would basically be this. We have an input of 2. Inputs represent the x values, so I find 2 on the x-axis, and I go up, and I notice it kind of tops out right here at 4. So with an input of 2, my output is 4. And a problem like this is pretty straightforward. So I'm going to give you a couple of these and get some practice, and then I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult. So let me delete this if I can. There we go, not too bad. Alright, so try one here. If you want to pause, I think I'm trying to make a video here, and if it works out, then we should be okay. We're going to go a function of 20 equals, and if you could pause that and give everyone a chance to write it down. I'm assuming I'm back with you guys. So again, our input in this case is 20. So I find 20. I'm going to go look at what the output is. In this case, the output looks to be somewhere, let's see, this is by 2, so somewhere around by 12. A function of 20 is 12. Let's go ahead and jump right into another one. Hopefully these are relatively easy. If you have a partner, please be working with them. Let's go all the way up to a function of 26 equals. If you could pause it again. Alright, let's assume we're back. A function of 26 is equal to, in this case, again my input is 26. If I go to 26, we get a little discrete area of the graph. It's not continuous anymore. We have a single point there that looks to represent, well, I guess that's 2. A function of 26 equals 2. Alright, well, I think that's enough practice on simple inputs to outputs. So let's move on. I'm going to try to keep going. This is 3 minutes long now, but let's try to kind of reverse this and think of another way. Alright. Now, instead of asking for an output with a given input, we're going to say, hey, I don't know my input. That says a function of x is equal to, and let's go ahead and give a certain output. Alright, let's say a function of x is equal to 20. And that means, hey, when I plug in x, my output happens to be 20. So now we're dealing with output. And if our inputs are all x's, our outputs are all y's. So I'm going to go up here and show my y. And lo and behold, there are 2 areas, one there and one there, in which an input gives me an output of 20. And I think I'm going to be right. And it looks like one of them, I'm having a hard time seeing it now I've drawn that big line, but one of them looks to be, maybe, looks like these go by, mine go by 1s, yours may not, let's see, 9, 10, 11, maybe x could be 11, and it should be somewhere around there. Looks to be about 11 on mine, and x could be somewhere around 5. So I'm just saying, no, it's not much of an and 5. Alright, I'm going to give you 1 or 2. I'll give it a shot. Alright, so hopefully we can pause again. We're at the 5-minute mark in this video. So I'm going to pause it really soon and maybe save this. But let's try a couple of these. So let's clear this out. I'm doing this from home. I've copied this graphic from the online book onto my iPad, and I'm kind of writing with my fingers here. But I'm not sure if this scale matches exactly with what I have in the graph, so you might need to pause and confer and discuss with each other what the actual answers are. I know the graph is very similar, but I think I remembered yesterday it going by 2s. And this graph appears to be going by 1s. So let's zoom in a little bit. We'll give you another one. Again, we're going to give you one in which you don't know the input, but in this case you know the output. And let's go ahead and put that output at 8. So if you could pause, I'm going to keep this running, but pause and try to let people work and find the answers. My assumption is you paused, so I'm going to go through the answers. So it says, hey, what input gives me an output of 8? So let's go ahead and highlight all our y values of 8. That's a horizontal line right here, kind of. And it looks like one of those answers would be x equals 3. And another one of those answers looks to be about 21 or 22. So we could say x equals about 3 and x equals about 22. Those inputs give me an output of 8. Alright. Again, confer with each other. There's a slight possibility your answers could be a little bit different, although the basic tendency of this graph is the same. I'm going to delete. We'll do one more, and then we'll make it even harder. Alright. So we'll say a function of x is equal to. Alright. Now let's go ahead, let's make a function of x equal to 26. Okay. And you can go ahead and pause and give some people a chance to figure it out. Alright, we're back. We're back. And looks like 26 is up here. And on my graph, again, yours might be slightly different. It looks to be, I don't know if that was truly vertical. I think I might be a little off. I think I might be kind of over a little bit. But it looks like it's an x value of about 6. Alright, I hope that makes sense. I'm going to show you something just a little bit different here. We're going to make it a little more difficult and give you an opportunity to try one. So, here we go. Now I'm going to say something a little bit different here. Instead of giving you an x, let's say a function of x plus 2 is equal to, I don't know, let's go 24. 24. So, this is still an output, and this is still an output. So let's just deal with the outputs. The output we know is our y values. Alright, so my y value in this case would be 24. So it looks like we have two answers right here that have a y value of 24. And looks like one of them matches up with 5 down here, and this guy up here. Let's see if I can, pulling something up there. Right here. If I'm doing it right, looks like it etches up to 9. So we are inputs of 5 and our input of 9. Both of those give us an output of 24. Okay. So if I plug in 5, I get an output of 24. If I plug in 9, I get an output of 24. So these functions are the solution. That is the input that gives me 24, 5, and 9 is the input that also gives me 24. But if you look at our original equation, it says, hey, we've got x plus 2. So we realize that x plus 2 must equal 5, and x plus 2 must also equal 9. Or perhaps the better choice of word is or. So all I would have to do is set x plus 2 equal to the let me see if I can go backwards. There we go. Equal to the input. That would give me my desired output. In this case, 5. So x equals 3. And x plus 2 equal to the other input, which would give me my desired output. In this case, 9. So x equals 7. Alright. Now, pause. Talk about this a little bit. See if a couple of you could explain this. And I'm going to erase this and give you a shot at this. So we'll throw another one up there. Alright, we're back. Let me clear this up. And we'll try one more. So let's say a function of x minus 5 is equal to, and let's just go with 3. Alright. Give that a shot if you would. Pause it and come back when you can. Okay, we're back. So let's see how well you did. It looks like 3, the output of 3 is what we're looking for. Alright, we've been given an output. And again, it looks like there's 2. It looks like one of them, and I know that's probably not exact, but we'll go with 2. So we know a function of 2 gives us about 3. And that could be a decimal, but we'll say 2. And we've got another guy right here. And that would be a function of, oh, what is that, 26? Also gives us 3. So we have 2 possible answers that give us 3. And if we look at this, we have x minus 5 is equal to 3. And then we have a function of 2 is equal to 3. So these two, x minus 5, those two inputs have the same output, so they must be equal to each other. I'm going to have to delete that. That's what I did. Get rid of 3 instead of a 5. There we go. We say x minus 5, again, also gives us the same output as 26 right there. So, again, equal to 26. I kind of didn't give myself much room here, so obviously this guy right here is going to have an x value of 7 when I solve that out, just basic algebra. And this one right over here is going to have an x value of 31. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to pause. I would love it if you guys would play around with a few more, and or go over the homework sheet. Your homework sheet has a lot of very, very kind of a range of problems similar to what we've been doing here. If you could talk about it together for about 10 minutes and maybe ask some questions, see who has some answers. So play around with this. Play around with those homework problems. You know I put the answers online, so at least one of you checked your answers. But it'd be a good time to talk through a couple of those problems. There's some difficult ones on there. And then hopefully we can move away from this and get on to some new material. Thanks. And I will see you guys on Monday. And I might make another video to help you out with quadratics as well.